Good day, friends from Facebook, my Facebook friends on Twitter, WhatsApp, friends on Instagram, and my friends all over the world. Merry Christmas. It's another grateful year. So I want to seize this opportunity to enlighten you more on Tradocracy. I've always broadcast Tradocratic system of government as an alternative or a better system of government to democracy. Tradocracy, as it is a government of the well-being of the people. It's a government that recognizes all perfections as an arm of government. It is made up of 4 arms with a sovereign electoral commission and department of morality. Tradocracy is an advance and a better system of government to democracy. The Electoral Commission in Tradocracy is sovereign. It's sovereign in the sense that president or executive do not elect electoral officers. Government do not finance electoral commissions. And government do not police the electoral commission. So it is so sovereign and devoid of executive influence or government interference. And as such, elections and electoral processes are done smoothly and with fairness. Another striking feature about the Sovereign Electoral Commission of Tradocracy is that electoral competitions in Tradocracies are not based on money. Money is not tagged on electoral competition. Why that is allowed in Tradocracy is to allow all citizens of a country to be able to participate fully without being prevented indirectly with no money. I have observed over the years, because of money tag for electoral competition in democratic system, major and competent individuals are prevented from competing for electoral competition. But funnily, in democracy, all citizens are allowed to vote. But not all citizens are allowed to compete because of money tag for electoral competition. If some government could practice free education for all, so government should be able to allow free competition without money being tagged for electoral competition, right from the campaign, registration, and all other electoral processes shall be made free in Tradocratic system of government. Tradocracy is a government of the well-being of the people. It's advanced. It does not only recognize a single profession of law. It's unlike what is obtained in democracy, whereby a single profession of law, as judiciary, is made an arm of government, and all other professions are excluded. In Tradocracy, all professions are made as an arm of government, and this arm of government is called the researcher. Researcher is a body of professions. All professionals are selected to represent their professions in the House of Researcher. They do not represent senatorial district, local government council, or states. They represent professions. What did they do? Representatives of the House of Researcher are sent to the area they are so trained to participate in the daily activities of the workplace, make research, and bring out methodology, new methodology of work process. This methodology of work process or new research are written down and sent back to the House of Researcher for reappraisal and deliberations. Once it is signed by the House of Researcher, such methodology or new research shall be binding on the establishment the representative of the House of Researcher was sent to. This is done to stimulate innovations, industrial growth, and to improve the economy. Also, representative of the House of Researcher monitor the daily activities of workers in the establishment is sent to. Any workers that errs shall be fined. By so doing, workplaces or work environment will improve in their mandate and fine-tune their work process. This researcher is not in any system of government. It's not in democracy. It's not in monarchy. It's not in communism or socialism and other forms of government. It was only introduced to Tradocracy because of the pitfalls, because of the demerit in democracies. Democracy is becoming obsolete, and as such, the introduction of Tradocracy was evolved. But people do not seem to know this, that democracy in its nature discriminates the major population from competing for electoral competition. Because all over the world, money is tagged for electoral competition in democracy, which is unfair. The major population harbors competent individuals. When money is tagged for electoral competition, mediocres and people with questionable character may be selected to take over the affairs of humans, and it is the people and the country that suffers. So that the need for Tradocratic system of government is urgent and is very important. Tradocracy system of government maintains fundamental human right. Fundamental human right is also well expressed in Tradocratic system, in Tradocracy. So that religion is allowed and all the basic tenets of fundamental human right are prescribed in Tradocracy. All arms of government, the four arms of government, the executive, the researcher, the legislature, and the judiciary, have their independent police forces. There's police force for the House of Researcher, There's parliamentary police force and there is judicial police force. All the police forces are controlled by the heads of all the arms of government. The commissioner of police forces of arms of government are appointed by the heads of arms of government. When, for instance, when individual is committed to prison, it is the judicial police force to execute such programs. Judicial police force is for the judiciary alone. This is allowed to prevent executive interference into other arms of government. Otherwise, the executive police force, which is the police force of the nation, could undermine the basic functions of all the arms of government which are supposed to be independent. So the true independence of arms of government lies in police or in the security of the arms of government. This is unique and quite different from what is obtainable today. I have discovered in some countries whereby impunity reigns, executive could use police forces to intimidate other arms of government, undermining their independence. Is wrong. So to cushion such negative tendencies, independent police forces for the arms of government was introduced and to maintain balance. Apart from the police forces, the electoral competition of Tradocratic system of government is different from democratic system of government. The differences lies in the voting patterns. In democracy, selection of candidates for elections is 100% based on voting pattern. But in Tradocracy, voting pattern is called as 50%. Other methods are electoral debates and electoral examination, which are also scored. Electoral debate shall be scored as 50%. Electoral examination shall be scored as 50%. Individual with the highest scores wins the contest. This is done because basing elections on 100% voting patterns is wrong, because most people vote on bloodlines or tribal affiliations, and as such, competencies may not be appreciated. Instead of people to vote for competencies, people vote on bloodlines. So this was introduced to maintain, to be able to select a right candidate, a competent and capable candidate that will rule over the affairs of people. Because issue of governance is something very, very important. There are a lot of differences of democracy over Tradocracies. Another major difference of democracies and Tradocracy is the tenureship of all the elected members. You see, elections and the electoral process involve a lot of money. And as such, continual election in every 5 years or 4 years needs a lot of money. Most times reel down the country's pulse. After elections, some countries may become bankrupt. To prevent all this, at the end of each tenure, which may be 4 years or 5 years, evaluation of performance is carried out by the Department of Morality to analyze whether or not the elected individual scored average or above average. Average performance is 50%. If the elected individual score below average, he will be removed from office. He may not continue his office for further 5 years. Otherwise, such individuals will not be allowed to contest. And as such, this will reduce frequent money spent on election. In some advanced economy, individual makes donation. Single individual make donations to candidates for them to be able to contest elections. All these donations could be, all this money donated for purpose of election could be channeled for economic growth. So that frequent election in every 4 years or 5 years may not be possible in Tradocratic system. Evaluation of performance, which is the responsibility of the Department of Morality, a major department in Tradocracy. It's only Tradocracies that have such department. The Department of Morality also evaluates behaviors, evaluate behavioral patterns of citizens of such countries. If individual made subsistence money that cannot be accounted for, the Department of Morality take up such individual to court to determine whether such individual actually made money fairly. All these units in Tradocratic system are so important to bring about good governance. Tradocracy as it is well foretold. In the area of judiciary, there are various courts of the land. The Supreme Court, Appeal Court, the High Court, Industrial Courts, Magistrate Court, Customary Courts. However, a new court was introduced called the Home Sale Court, that is a native court. They are mobile courts. They will come to homes to settle family dispute or domestic violence. This home sale court cannot commit individual to prisons. If they are invited to settle family disputes, they could give fine to such erring individual. They are not invited to home to commit people to prisons. And such court is controlled by local government councils. It's only Tradocracy that operates such level of court. It's very important. They make use of traditional norms and civil laws, traditional laws and civil laws to bring about their judgment. So homestead court is a court that will bring sanity and morality to communities. It is a basic court of the land. I shall seize my time to always enlighten you on Tradocracy. Tradocratic system of government is a new system of government that is not yet being practiced by any countries of the world. It is just evolving. Tradocracy books was sent to United Nations, was sent to United States, and was sent to Nigeria president. It was well received. To receiving in the White House, Nigeria President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015 wrote commendation letter on Tradocracy. But up to now, I have not heard any further. I've not heard from him. Well, I'm optimistic that someday the Tradocracy shall be a system of government in many countries. I also sent Tradocracy book to Nigeria Parliament, and I wrote a bill on Tradocracy to Nigeria Parliament. However, up to now, it has not been raised in the houses, in both houses. I'm hoping that the tenor of Tradocracy, when put into practice, it will disallow pseudo-politics, because politics that is hazy in most third world nations is mainly due to democratic structures and principles. Reason being that in democracy, while there is always ringing or pseudo-politics in democratic system, is that in most democracies, the president or the executive appoint electoral commissions, finance electoral commission, and police electoral commission. And the president or the executive also contests elections. The electoral commission, he indirectly controls. The president also contests the election. So it's just likelihood that there may not be fairness. This is one gray area in democracy. It is morally wrong. A body that brings forth elected members should be completely sovereign or completely independent from government. And as such, Tradocracy has come to address that. Merry Christmas once again. Hoping that someday Tradocracy shall be the government of the day, because it is an advance and a better system of government to all forms of government run today in the world. Thank you very much.